mind when I say superhero.
You saw Avengers Endgame.
There's Avengers Endgame.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The Avengers.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite superhero?
Doctor
Doctor Strange.
Oh.
You would like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
I don't understand it. It seems like Doctor Strange could do anything, beat all the rest of them, right? Because he could just send them to another world or whatever. He doesn't have to fight anybody.
All I just have is stone.
Yeah, but if you take the stone away from him, of course, you don't have any power, right?
Doctor Strange is a Buddhist.
He is a Buddhist figure. I love that when he went to like that temple and learned the arts and everything. Yeah.
Just learn from yourself.
Yeah.
Like all of us.
Right. You know, speaking of that, like, you know, growing up and being unfamiliar with Buddhism, and I would see a monk on TV or something, I would attribute some type of, it seemed like they had some type of magic power, right? Or they were some kind of mystical creature that was unattainable to me. And I think it was the power of having control over your own mind and not wanting anything, you know, not having attachment to, I need you to like me, I need you to promote me, I need something, you know. That's almost a superpower in itself, is that non-attachment, that non-clinging of knowing that monk is happy either sitting here or sitting at the bus station or sitting in a castle. It doesn't matter to him, you know. And I think that's the ultimate purpose of Buddhism, is to get that type of control over our minds so we can purify our thought process and choose what emotions we have and choose our thoughts instead of being able, you know, being carried away with anger, jealousy, depression, sadness, and maybe acting out on those things and then being sorry that we did. So it will cause less and less stress in our lives if we're able to have that distance between the thought and the action, right? So what makes a superhero? Strength. What else?
Altruism.
Altruism? What do you mean by that?
Well, they always do the good thing, right?
Okay.
More or less.
If you're not a super villain,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's kind of differentiates.
So I guess when you say altruism, you mean that what makes a superhero is that they want to help others, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what is one way that people become superheroes? Spiders? That's funny. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to get bit by a spider so I could have superpower.
I still kind of hope for it.
And then one time I was outside and there was a storm blowing in, and I thought, if I go out in the yard and get struck by lightning, I'll be like Thor, you know. I can shoot lightning out of my hands and stuff, you know. And good thing I didn't go out there and do that.
Yeah,
Get
I
struck by
wouldn't
lightning.
be here.
It wouldn't. It might not have worked out as well as I thought. But yeah, so there's different origin stories for superheroes, right? Bit by a spider, come from some other planet, have a hammer. Batman, he got his parents were killed in front of him, right? Batman doesn't really have any superpowers, right? He just trains a lot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's got money.
Huh?
He's got money.
Money, so he has gadgets and stuff, right? So interestingly enough, Shantideva, who wrote, well, he didn't write this text. It was actually a sermon that he preached, and it was written down later. He says, and I don't know if there's any other religion like this, that this is a manual for how to become a superhero. And what that means is you're on your way to Buddhahood. And on the way to Buddhahood, you're trying to help as many people as you can. And your superpower is you're thinking less about yourself and more about others. That's the whole meaning behind this book here. And so Shantideva says if you follow this path, you're going to spend less time focusing on your own ego. And even if you can't physically give somebody money or take in the homeless or something like that, your thoughts, I mean, there's actually a teaching that Mahayana, I don't have my words today, Buddhists do that are really following this path is that every time they do any type of action, if they drink water, They say, I pray that this water not only nourishes me, but nourishes every sentient being, you know? Every bite of food is, I pray that this doesn't only sustain my strength, but the strength of every sentient being in the world. When they lay down at night, I pray that not only I get rest, but every sentient being in the world, or in all the worlds, get rest. And so that kind of focus and that kind of attention on others makes you less worried about your own self and your own problems and your own thoughts. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so we'll discuss it in a little bit more detail in a minute. We'll go ahead and do our chanting. If you have your chant